this job? Well, I do this job because it's an important role as it involves keeping citizens safe and the public safe. I came into social work to make a difference to people's lives. Well, this job allows me to still have that job satisfaction that my intervention may have just helped that citizen or their families or carers. Somebody once said to me, what makes a good AMP? And said, it must be that as an AMP you must have good knowledge and understanding of the mental health legislation. I answered, yes, that's crucial, but it's more than that for me. No matter how many Mental Health Act assessments I've carried out, it's about treating people with respect and dignity at each Mental Health Act assessment, to treat people how I would like to be treated. I always try to see things from the person's perspective and the family's perspective and try to understand what they may be going through and go that extra mile with the hope that the Mental Health Act assessment is not perceived as such a negative experience. So how long does it take to become an AMP? Well, an AMP is a grade 5 role. Well, it can take 3 years to do your social work training for the social work degree, 1 year ASYE, the Assessed and Supported Year in Employment, is a 12-month programme that gives newly qualified social workers extra support during the first year of employment. Then another 2 years of practising as a social worker with citizens with mental health needs. Within the 2 years, you need to complete the PQ consolidation course, complete the pre-AMP training 5 days course. All of that might take 5 years, but some people have moved through the career pathway more quickly. I myself had gained 5 years of experience working in mental health before I applied to becoming an AMP. So what are the difficulties and challenges of becoming an AMP? Well, I think the main difficulties and challenges of becoming an AMP is when professionals have not gained enough experience in their own profession first, whether it's a nurse, social worker, OT, and then not gained enough experience working with clients with mental health needs. What is unique about being an AMP? Well, AMPs have the power to detain citizens and take away people's liberty by applying the Mental Health Act. It's a very independent role to be confident in your decision making and taking the lead in the Mental Health Act assessment. AMPs need to be highly skilled in risk assessing each situation. The AMP is responsible for coordinating all the involved professionals and agencies that need to be involved in the assessment. The AMP needs to have exceptional interview skills and have good knowledge and awareness of different cultures, religions and languages. Have good knowledge of mental disorders, dual diagnoses, example substance and alcohol misuse and mental health. Have a good understanding of the Mental Health Act and Mental Capacity Act legislation and how to apply this. To have a good understanding of procedures and criteria of the different agencies you are working with, whether it's hospitals, ambulance, the police, children's services, alcohol and substance misuse services. And we provide a 24-hour service for Mental Health Act assessment requests. So what are the top 3 skills you need in order to become an AMP? Well, I think are particularly useful for this role are good knowledge and good understanding of the Mental Health Act legislation and how to apply it to your practice. Good communication skills, written, verbal, organising so many different professionals and agencies to attend for a Mental Health Act assessment, being confident in taking the lead, having good interviewing skills. Risk assessing skills, being able to analyse and risk assess each situation as the situation keeps changing in Mental Health Act assessments. As an AMP, you do need to have a strong value base where you treat people individually, fairly, with respect and dignity. So how do I manage such difficult, complex situations? Well, the answer is good support network within the team. Whether it's from my AMP colleagues, the senior practitioners within the citywide AMP team, who are absolutely fantastic. They are really supportive, good listeners, which allows me to debrief. By debriefing, this allows me to reflect on my practice. What went well? What could I have done differently? What's my learning from this Mental Health Act assessment? Well, all of this naturally would not fall into place if we did not have the support from top down. In the citywide AMP team, we are fortunate to have a good, supportive management team, group manager, team manager and workforce practitioner, who are all constantly looking at how to improve the service and examining some of the day-to-day practical issues that enables me to work in a more efficient and effective way. This helps and supports me to do my job well. And I receive absolutely fantastic training thanks to the Training and Development Department. We really are very fortunate with the amount of training we receive, and the quality of the training is of a very high standard. I feel I can't end this presentation without giving a mention to our health colleagues, the bed managers, the police, the ambulance, street triage and all the other agencies that I work closely with, because all of the above cannot happen if we did not work in partnership with one another, and if there was not commitment and flexibility to get the job done, a job that would be even more difficult if there wasn't that commitment to get it done. At times, these relationships can be strained, and this is mainly due to the lack of resources, as it is in most organisations. But nevertheless, I do feel well supported by our partner agencies, and I hope for the future these relationships to strengthen further, and that we all remain focused for a better future and experience for the service user. Because most importantly, what we must not do is forget, in the centre of all these systems, policies and procedures, there is a real person in the centre of this.